All right, welcome back to our second video for this new lesson, new unit. So in this next part, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the process of going from ratio to rate, which we've been doing now, and then we're going to go back again. So if you didn't notice the phrase, the first example was called there, dot, dot, dot. And for the second one, it's and back again. So we're going to look at what does it look like to go from a ratio to a rate, and what does it look like to come back the other way. So to begin with, let's annotate. Complete is a keyword. It's telling us to do something. Ratio is a keyword. It represents a comparison of two numbers. Complete again, and rate, which is the comparison of two numbers, but the second number is always a 1. So all of those should be underlined. So you can click the underline button once you select them. You can do them one at a time. And then next, we're going to write the ratio that we got in example 1, part B. So example 1 is up here, part B is here. It says that the ratio was 5 to 4. So I'm going to put that 5 to 4. You could put it multiple ways. You could also say, or 5:4, or 5/4. You don't need to though. Just one or two forms is fine. But just letting you know that you have the option. So now we're going to write the unit rate. Well, the unit rate was the same thing as the fraction form, which is 5/4. And we found that that was actually the same thing as 1 1/4, but as an improper fraction, it is 5/4. And so our rate can be written as an improper fraction or a mixed number, 1 1/4. They're the same thing. Writing it this way can actually be really helpful because now we can go backwards. So if I start with the rate in part B, it says that the rate is 6 feet per second. And I remember that the word per means for every one of something. And so if it says 6 feet per second, that's not normally something you would write as a fraction. But if we did, we could write it as this, 6/1. Whenever you have something over 1, it's the same thing as a whole number, just 6 in this case. So the rate is 6/1 feet per second, which means that the unit rate is just the number part of that, 6/1. And so then when we go to the ratio, we can just change it into a new version. Remember that fractions are the same thing as a ratio. So you just turn it on its side, and the ratio is 6 feet to 1 second, 6 to 1. Or we could also write that as 6:1. Now, that's not the only version, though. We could actually scale it up. We could say, well, that could also mean the ratio of 12 feet to 2 seconds, or 18 feet to 3 seconds. And so this is what we're going to be using as we move into the next examples in class together, is once you know how the fraction or the rate can give you the ratio, we can use that ratio then to find all these other ones. So I'm going to say dot, 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 and you could do the same thing. So the ratio is 6 to 1, but it could also be 12 to 2 or something equivalent to that. And we're going to use that to help us. All right, I look forward to seeing you in class. Thank you for doing your notes and making sure that everything was accurate.